So in today's video I'm gonna be ranking all the Conquest units that are currently out, from 1 to the last one, from the best to the last. And this is only my opinion, and it might vary from one guy to another, but we'll see if you agree with it, and I'll talk a little about them, and hopefully you'll be able to plan who's worth getting and when and what team you go with them and so on. So we're probably gonna start from the bottom, and that's, I think almost everyone can agree that it's Boba Fett, Scion of Jango. He's an alright character, but he doesn't really bring anything new or good to the team. Like, he's good, but he's not better, or not by a big margin at least, than the other ones on the Bounty Hunter team. I've seen some people use him with what's his name? Bale and Skull, but other than that, he's pretty useless. I don't know when I will gear him up, or if I will ever do it, but he has some nice TV Omicrons that can beat like Lord Vader and stuff like that, but you already have so many counters that can do that without Omicrons. So I think it's a waste of Zetas and Omicrons and gear to take him up. And he was one of the first Conquest units. But luckily for us, we have more since then. My second worst character is probably... it's hard to have Trench here, but comparing him to the other ones, it could be debatable, but I think he's the one that has to go here. He is a really good character, especially in TV. If we're counting TV, he's one of the best. His Omicrons are really good, especially the lead, I think. The lead 50% mastery, max health, protection. It's a really strong Omicron. One of the best TV Omicrons, at least. The other ones is decent. This is pretty good, and this one could be skipped, but it helps. I put all the Omicrons on because I like the character, or mostly I like the Separatist, in that sort of sense. So he's an alright character, and this is the ideal lineup you want. If you really wanna have good success with this team, I would probably recommend bringing Trench and Jango up to R8. Especially Jango. His damage increases quite a lot and helps that team. But this team is good in Grand Arena as well. I have beaten Java once with this, but when I use it, I mostly clear everything except Java and timeout. So if you have a nice 2-shot, that might be good in early game and stuff like that, then Trench is really good. And yeah, he's pretty solid. Yeah, I don't have the ideal mods on him, but yeah. Alright. That was... I'm just doing a short bit of the characters. Don't go in too much in depth on them. But I think... yeah, next one has to be Ben Solo. He's an amazing character in a raid team, and the raid team is pretty bad without him. And now with Ezra Bridger Exile, he's become even better, because that mostly prevents him from getting stunned and being able to do his really strong attacks. I think it's this one, yeah. When you have this, he ignores protection, and if you have him well modded, you can easily snipe some characters out. So here's my mods if you wanna get some inspiration. Pretty fast, some potency, some tenacity, so if the case may be, he might be able to resist the stun, and quite a lot of damage. But he's a really good character and mandatory for the Rail lineup. So yeah, he's an amazing character. Definitely someone you should get when you have Rey. Otherwise, you don't have that much use out of him. Therefore, he's going in this place. I'm just gonna see, we have 5 here, 5 here, 2 here, and 4 ships maybe? I'm gonna see. Yeah, 4 ships. So we have 16 characters in total. So I'm gonna do a separate one after the characters for the ships. So based off that, we have 12 characters. So 12 plays here, Admiral Trench 11, Ben at 10. Then, depending on the situation, it's either gonna be Ezra Bridger Exile or Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. Yeah, honestly, I feel like Ezra might be the one. He's don't get me wrong, he's an amazing character. He boosts the Jedi teams, he boosts Rey, and he boosts the new Ahsoka. So he's a really good character. He tanks. He can heal people. He does a lot of damage. He has his Exile ability. With the Pergil stacks. Let's see where it is. Should be here somewhere. Yeah, here. Pergil migration. 1% defense and tenacity per stack. And with his Omicron here, he gets 25 stacks of that immediately. So that's 20. Was it 2% here? No, 1%. So 25% defense and tenacity right away. And that, when he gets to 50 stacks, he gets his Exile, can exile someone, and that basically is a better version of Fracture. So yeah, he's just really, really strong. I personally use him with Rey, but eventually when I get Ahsoka, I probably will use him with her, because this is meant to be the lifter unit for Ahsoka. So yeah, but an amazing character that I would recommend getting any time in the game, because you are gonna have some Jedi that can use him, Rey is gonna use him, and eventually Ahsoka wants to have him. So an amazing all-around Conquest unit for the whole priority or period of the game. And the next spot is probably gonna be Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. It's simply because he creates an own team, which is pretty good. It's quite hard to beat, especially with the new Imperial Remnant troopers from Peridia. That boosted him up above Ezra in my opinion. And he has some good Omicrons. He's very tanky, and yeah, and he has a mass revive that can revive all the allies. Yeah, he's just really good. And if you wanna put one Omicron on, it's definitely the leader one, if you're TV focused, that is, because it's a Territory Wars Omicron. So they get 75% health and mastery. 75%. That's a lot. So they're gonna be really, really tanky and strong. And 30% speed. Yeah. And I mean, these ones could be useful as well. This would be the second one I recommend. He gets 30% more max protection and recovers 100% protection on his first turn. He begins battle with taunt, can't be dispelled or prevented 4 stacks of insight. Yeah, this one is actually really solid, especially if you have him at R9 or R8 even. I have him at 205k protection. If you get 30, or was it 40 or 30? Yeah, 30% max health or max protection extra. That's a lot. We're looking at like 250k, around there, 260. Yeah, that's such a high amount of health and protection, and combined with his lead, and this is in TV, that is, so 75% more max health. That's around like 80k, so 250, 200, we're close to 450,000 health and protection. And with and the allies, oh yeah, might be only the allies that get that now that I've read it again, but it's still a lot, and the team is really solid. This is like the normal lineup you usually use, but nowadays I'm putting in Captain Enoch instead of Stormtrooper. You could also use Death Trooper Peridia and Night Trooper if you wanted to, but I'm planning to split this new squad, Enoch here and the other two, to Great Mothers. So I think that will be really good. And this is definitely one of my best R9 investments. So definitely something to look into. So if we look at Captain Enoch, I think it's his unique here. Yeah, so they basically won't be able to crit Imperial Trooper remnants. So that's really strong. So no critical hits almost. That's going to mean that it's harder to beat or kill him, and that makes him an even better team. And I'm really thinking about putting R9 on these three right here, because I'm almost 100% certain that a Peridia raid is the next one, and I think they will be required. And there's a Peridia Patrol assault battle right now with really good R9 rewards, so I'm thinking that if I get all of those 3 to R9, I'm pretty secure on the next raid, and also the rewards will stack up. I'm hoping for a bunch of Omicrons, and eventually if they drop Galactic Legend Thrawn, it wouldn't surprise me if all of those 3 are required at Relic 9. So that's a big risk to take, but I think it will pay out and keep me ahead of the curve, so to say. So there you have a plan of mine, if you wanna copy that too, or think about it, do so. Now we're coming down to these two. I'll probably, so we have the 12, 11th and 10, 9, and 8, and Darth Malgus is gonna be the 7th. Has been an amazing character to have, and yeah, it's pretty debatable between him and Queen Amidala, but I think nowadays I think he's a little worse, depending on how you look at it. He has Grand Arena Omicrons. All of them are really good, but these two, Korriban's Legacy, basically more doubt, and Deprive Senses, yeah, they are pretty good, but the one you need to have on functional team is definitely Legacy of Power. Sith Empire allies get 50% mastery, so that's a lot. 30 plus 30 speed, also good. 80% critical avoidance, that's really strong. And you can read the kit for yourself. Basically it's a long paragraph, but it's an amazing Omicron. Definitely probably S tier Omicron. And he's also a good candidate for R9 if you're planning to get him. He's a really strong early game conquest unit that will give you a lot of holds, help you counter things. You can beat Riva with him, Seer, yeah, and a bunch of other stuff. And on him, you want especially health. 170k is pretty good. That's like a benchmark in my opinion for R9 at least. Could go a little higher, but that's pretty solid. And some speed, tenacity is also good. Some potency is also good to land that doubt and shock and that, and some damage. And armor is also really good since he's a tank. And the reason you want a lot of health on him, if you don't have him or didn't know, is basically because that's the only thing making him deal damage. 40% of Darth Malgus max health will be turned into true damage on the target. So 40% of 170, yeah, it's probably around 60k there, around there. So that's really good. And almost 300k combined health and protection, real tanky. And his ship is also a factor, having him in this place, that might be able to put him above Queen Amidala, but yeah. So it's the Fury class interceptor that I'll talk about later, but it's basically part of the meta fleet, the best fleet right now, Leviathan. So amazing ship. And R9 obviously boosts the ship as well. And then we have the last one here that's going to get the 6th place, and that's Queen Amidala. She's a newer Conquest character. She is really good. in a lot of different game modes. I can basically use her everywhere, and she is probably definitely top 2 raid teams in the Battle of Naboo raid. And that's why she is higher right now than Malgus is, mostly for the raid. But she has 3 Omicrons that are really good. I think all of them are good, but the one you need is Loyal Bodyguard, which gives 40% mastery to all allies, crit damage, immune to fear and healing immunity, and this basically does that. She has a decoy that is an exact copy of this character's stats, so the copy gonna have this as well, and with that they have to kill the decoy before they get to anyone else. Therefore, Loyal Bodyguard is the best one. The lead is decent as well. Some offense for attackers, healers, tanks. But you're basically mostly gonna have attackers and supports. So yeah, those are decent, but not mandatory. You will probably see a little better results with Omicrons, but it's completely functional with just the Loyal Bodyguard one. This is also really good. But yeah, this attack ignores enemy protection and all allies get critical damage, heal over time. Basically the damage up and heal over time is the good parts, because she doesn't really deal that much damage anyways. So it's a good one as well, but as I said, not mandatory. And you want her to be really quick, really tanky, have some offense, tenacity. So yeah, she wants a bunch of stats. And the ideal lineup is definitely Master Qui-Gon and Padawan in there. I have them at R9 for the raid and for the Duel of the Fates assault battle, which is really good. So if you have Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan, this would be a really good team to have. And even without them, she's pretty good with some Galactic Republic units. I can show you what team I'm using right away here. Let's just go into my Grand Arena. So I think she's here, no? Yeah, here we go. So I have Shock Team and Barris. Shock Team for the Dispel and heal and stuff like that. And Barris for her Zeta, which basically, whenever they land a critical hit, the one that got hit recovers 20% health. So that's really strong. So a great offense and defense Conquest unit. I'm pretty sure that she can beat some Galactic Legends, but not that certain of it. Therefore, she's here. and her viability is boosted by the raid. Otherwise I would have probably put her below some of the other ones. But now we're moving on to the top 5. This is really tough, and it depends on where you are in the game, what resources you have, and what teams you have developed. But my number 4 spot is probably gonna be Commander Ahsoka Tano. That might make some of you angry that doesn't agree with me there, but she's an amazing character, as most of them, as I have said in the beginning of all of them now, but she has really good viability, especially in Jedi Master Kenobi. She can also be used with Rey to some degree, but her main home is definitely with Jedi Master Kenobi. Those two together makes her be able to take an insta-kill in the first round with this Force Sleep ability that just deletes a character. Then after that it will do ramping damage and inflict armor shred, so that's really strong there. Great for Conquest when you have like 30 armor shreds. Just put a lot of Galactic Republic ones, Gas, her, Ki-Adi-Mundi, maybe Bo-Katan, then you will get some much needed armor shreds. But amazing character. She is also required for Ahsoka Tano, the new one, the Galactic Legend, at R9. So I had her at R8 before, so I'm pretty close to R9 if I wanted to, but that's not gonna happen until the end of next year probably. I have more important things to do right now, but an amazing character that will be placed in top 5, mostly due to she being very limited to Jedi Master Kenobi, and she has some really good abilities, but she can be used with Rey as well, some points there, but yeah, and no Omicrons either. The first few characters that got released had no Omicrons, so that's really good for early game especially. But she could be used with the normal Padme and stuff like that as well, so really good viability there. The next and 4th character on my list is going to be Maul. Another character without Omicrons. He's a really strong attacker, one of my most wanted R9 attackers. He wants either a lot of health or survivability or offense, like you can go different routes. But he has a leader ability, making him able to build a Mandalorian team, which can counter a lot of stuff now with the rework on the Super Commando and Gar Saxon and those. So, and that can be Galactic Legends and a bunch of other really high-end teams. He's also good with Lord Vader. That's the lifter unit for him. That's what I'm using him with. But he can also be used with like a Darth Malicos team to counter a lot of stuff. And even with the Star Killer, because he's an unaligned force user. So he's a really strong one to have. I run mostly health and speed, some crit damage, some offense. I don't have the best mods, but they get the job done. So an amazing character, definitely get him at any stage of the game. He's good from the beginning to the end. And now we have the top 3 Conquest units. And number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Luthen Rael. Even though he's probably the best booster unit as far as Conquest units go for a team. And he can be used in mostly 2 teams. I have seen him with Leia sometimes, but either with Saw or Moff is usually where you see him. And you don't need any of his Omicrons, but if you are to apply one, it's gonna be Dream with Ghosts. It basically gives max health, mastery, speed, protection up, and all of that. And it's also upgrading the Rebel Trooper to Commander, I think. Yeah, but basically same with Queen Amidala. The stats stack with Rebel Trooper decoy, so the more higher relics, the better the trooper, and the better the damage, because the trooper, he deals a lot of damage, but the other Omicrons are also really good. Here's some speed on this one. Yeah, they are really good, and it's surprisingly only 1 Zeta on this character as well, so really easy to get up and running. Basically you just need a Zeta, Dream with Ghost. You can do all the stuff without it, it just becomes easier. And I have modded him for crit chance and speed. Many use health instead, but this works for me. He's a really fast character. I have him in at 337. Might be a little slow, but yeah, it works. I use him with Saw. This is the lineup that I use without Veg. I just put in Katarn in there. If you have a fully upgraded Moff team with Katarn, Pow, and Hoff Rebel Trooper, Scout Trooper, not something like that, you can beat, I think, at least 6 Galactic Legends with the Moff team. That's such a good value. But I like to use him as a defense unit with Saw Gerrera, with his Omicron. That has great value as well. So it mostly depends on what you need to use him for. So if you want to go kill a bunch of stuff, use Moff. If you want him on defense, use Saw Gerrera. So you can go both ways, which makes him incredible. One of the best Conquest units by far. So a really good one to get if you have the teams built up. And the second one on my list is going to be Taron Malicos. It's almost hard to say what he can't do. He basically can do everything. He's a really good character that can go with a bunch of different teams. He can go with Lord Vader, Seer, where I use him, Starkiller, and he boosts every team. He deals a lot of damage. He makes the teams survivable, and his Omicrons are probably the best 3 Omicrons you can apply to a character. I don't think any other character wants all the 3 Omicrons more than he does. Therefore I have modded him pretty well. Crit damage, potency, tenacity, bunch of damage, crit chance, yeah. He's also a good R9 candidate. But unfortunately the attackers don't get that much extra damage from doing this. But amazing. And if you wanna look at the Seer team, if you wanna invest in that, I have a video that's Seer guide. It's pretty old, but it's still accurate in my opinion. So if you want to look at that, feel free to do so. So we have his Omicrons. There's the Die Whelp. That's the last one you wanna apply. That's a little luxury, but it's almost needed to be able to make some good damage. But between those two, I don't really know. They're so close together. You want them both. But this basically makes the team more survivable, if I remember correctly. Yeah, damage, immunity and stuff like that, so that's really strong. And strength in power, or strength is power. You get some stacks of edge of madness, max health, mastery, also really solid. And the Die Whelp one, deal true damage to all enemies, inflict buff immunity, healing immunity, which can't be resisted if the ally in the leader slot is dark side or light side and a light force user. 20% critical damage and offense stacking until the end of the battle. So you're really gonna ramp up that damage a lot by having him there. So he's a really great one. Also one that I use on defense. I think I have him sitting here, yeah. I use him with Seer and Jedi Knight Calcastis, Ahsoka Fulcrum, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and he usually has some good data most of the times, so amazing characters. And if you're wondering what he can beat Rey pretty comfortably, even with Ezra now. Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff. And many people that I have faced, their Supreme Leader Kylo Ren fails against it. Traya fails most of the times. They will have to use a really good strong team to beat it. Therefore, it's the second best Conquest unit in my opinion. Alright. And it might not come as a surprise surprise for most people, but I have to put Darth Bane at number 1. As much as I like the other characters a little more in terms of the fun of it. He's definitely the best Conquest unit. He deals so much damage, and he usually, or if you wanna use him, you're gonna have to have another Sith by your side. So you can use him with like Darth Vader, Darth Bane lead, Darth Vader in the ally slot, or you can use C in the leader slot with him, and they beat most of the stuff. You don't want to have a full 5 hero squad or ally squad, that's just a waste. But rule of 2 is definitely the Omicron that you want. 75% mastery, max health, max protection. It's just amazing. And he does deal so much damage, and with his siphon he builds the damage, he reduces damage, he has a mass buff dispel, and he gets offense up and health up and everything with his abilities. So you want rule of 2, and if you want to go even more, I would put on this one. Increase enemy cooldowns by 2, remove 50% turn meter from all enemies, and Sith allies gain 50% turn meter. Yeah, it's also a really good one. And this one is pretty luxury. You basically want Sith Eternal with him if you're gonna use this one, because the ultimate charge is for Sith Eternal, because he's the lifter unit for him, and Bane gains 5 stacks of siphon. It's not that much, it doesn't change much. You'll still be able to do the stuff that you do. I have seen that some people have changed mods since he came out to more offense oriented, but I still use the same thing. Health, health, health. Health here, health here, health here. Yeah, health there, health there. So he's an attacker, but I have him at 104, almost 140k health, because he deals damage based on health. And I'm happy with him, and he's really strong. Definitely the best Conquest unit you can have throughout the whole game. Even though I like some other Conquest units more, like Malicos, because it's just crazy what he can do and it's a lot of fun. I like Dark Trooper Moff Gideon really much. And we will have to see what first Dark Side Rey can offer. I think she will definitely be top 3, almost 5, or at least top 5, maybe top 3 Conquest units. I think she will be really strong. It all depends on where you use her, because I don't think you probably can beat everything with Supreme Leader Calvin with her, but I don't see what else I would like to beat with him, because then my main counter for that other team goes away. But if Kylo Ren unmasked with her could be strong, that's potentially something. And she is a Sith as well, So you might be able to slot her in with like Siffy turnover or something like that. Her Omicrons seem to be really strong. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see when she comes out. Hopefully I will get her the first time around. Otherwise I will do it in the 4th round. But definitely someone to look into if you have Kylo. Here's my progress. 475, aiming for red. First red crate in a while I'm going for. 7 days to go. Almost done with these. I have a bunch of more to do on Sector 5. Pretty close here. I think I can manage it. Yeah. So that will be nice. Now we're gonna look at the ships. And these are the 4 Conquest ships that we have. I'm gonna go from the worst to the best here as well. And I actually think TIE Interceptor is the worst here. You could debate Razor Crest, but when I'm using her, she's basically the reinforcement. She does some good damage, but it's not overwhelming. But I think if I had a higher relic level, maybe it would make some difference. But she's a pretty good character. Has a mark that only applies to her. Some good damage. Yeah. Not much to say there. It's a good one. Then I will have to go with Razor Crest. It's part of the Executrix, the 2nd best fleet right now. It can target whichever enemy ship that it wants with this ability and mark it, so the other ones can attack it even though another one is taunting. So that just puts him above the Interceptor by far. If you want to have him as a reinforcement, he's pretty good as well there. Yeah, and really solid damage. I would like to put R8 on him, but R7 is still pretty good. Yeah, it's just an amazing ship. And why it's higher right now is because it's really accessible. Sometimes it comes in the fleet store, where you can buy the shards, so that's really good. And this ship can be activated at lower stars, if I remember right. So the 2nd best ship is, in my opinion, Fury class Interceptor. It's a support ship. It's really tanky. It's good. Like, and I personally don't have the Leviathan, so I can't speak from personal experience. But from what I have seen, it seems really good. It's a mandatory ship for the Leviathan. It's required. It's part of the starting lineup, and therefore it's going to the 2nd place. And at number 1 we have the Scythe. Amazing ship, piloted by Grand Inquisitor, which is awesome to upgrade anyways. And 5th brother, which I would like to get him to 8 for the ship. But yeah. But the only bad thing is that you need a legendary to unlock it, and the ship is a Conquest unit, so it's a lot to get to it. But it's an amazing ship. You can use him with Chimera or Executrix, the Tarkin one. If you use him with Tarkin, you spawn 2 TIE fighters by your side, and I don't really know what the TIE fighters scale of, but that's pretty good. But they have done something that's not working correctly right now with the Empire fleet, but I'm not sure really what makes it. But they used to be able to counter everything basically, but now it's really hard. There's some mechanic that they messed up with in the latest update, but yeah. But it spawns in TIE fighters if you're with Tarkin, otherwise it's going to get a stacks of formation, which gives 10% max health, offense and potency. That's really huge. Sometimes you can get 5-9 stacks of this, so yeah, it's really strong. And it has like heal, protection, health to our ally. It has a basic, which is good. Empire ships gain 20% health and offense, so you share with the team. And yeah, here it says crewless Imperial TIE fighters. But I don't know. I don't really know if you can boost summoned TIE fighters stat if you upgrade them, or which one it is. But that, if you could do that, I'm probably gonna do that. So yeah, that's my list. I hope you liked it. Will like to see if you like this kind of content, then please subscribe, or not subscribe, you can do that too if you want, but leave a comment. Or if you have any other video ideas, I'm very glad to make it happen, and hope you learned something and got some inspiration from this on your planning in the Swgoh. And thanks for watching.